What's up, everybody? Ben Cruz here, the head of sports programming at Vover, and welcome to the debut episode of One and Done. The concept of One and Done is very simple. One guest, one question, one answer. That's it. If the guest is cool with it, there might be the occasional and why attached to the end of a question, but other than that, that is the show. We're looking to bring you the best guests and the best questions every episode, which should lead to some great answers. If you've got a dope question you've always wanted to ask someone we're having on the show, download the Vover app and drop your questions in the featured questions section. And if we end up using your question, we'll be sure to shout you out and maybe send you a prize. So, since I promised we'd only bring you the best guests for the debut episode here, we could only bring you one of the best writers / podcasters / minds in the business. He's the best-selling author of 2 books you can pick up right now. In Golden, The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry, and KD, Kevin Durant's Relentless Pursuit to Be the Greatest, and has another book on the way that drops on October 5th, entitled Dynasties, the 10 GOAT teams that changed the NBA forever. He's the former co-host of the now defunct Dre Day podcast with Draymond Green, a husband and a father. He is a lead columnist at The Athletic, as well as a personal friend and mentor to myself. He is Marcus Thompson II, MT. This isn't my question, more so just a greeting, but how you doing today?
Yeah, that's a question, man. So this can count. I'm excellent. I'm a little bit miffed by that intro. I feel a little bit uncomfortable, but we're gonna power through that.
Oh, you gotta learn to take a compliment from time to time, man.
It's
a life skill.
I actually don't have to learn that. I could be uncomfortable with it, and we'll be just fine.
There you go. All right, MT. Here's your one and done question.
All right, I'm shook. Hold on. Let me get ready. I'm a little nervous.
There you go. Okay, no, we'll give you some time. Breathe. There you go. All right, you've written hundreds and hundreds of columns throughout your career, but as I mentioned in the aforementioned intro, you're also now the author of 3 full-length books, which I know from some of our conversations has presented very different challenges, each one. Of the 3 books you've written, Golden, KD, and now the 10 GOAT teams that changed the NBA forever, which one was the hardest to write and why?
Yeah, the first one, Golden. It was the hardest to write. Number one, because I'd never written a book before, and that was crazy. Just it's such a different level of writing and a style of writing that it was really tough to adjust to. I remember when I first sat down and I was in a Starbucks and I had my computer with me, and man, I was in like a zone. I didn't know I could do it. I just didn't know I could do it. I signed up but I had a lot of doubt because I'd never done it. And I remember sitting in Starbucks my first session, and I was cranking, dude. I was just going. I mean, I went for like 5 hours straight of writing. They were like bringing me lattes. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just going. I was in the zone, and I remember when I like finished that session, I felt like really good. I was like, man, I could do this. This is like, I felt like I actually could do this. It felt like I had written 20,000 words, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if I can do this in 5 hours, oh, this is a piece of cake, right? So then I checked the word count, and it was like straight 2,000 words. And I almost started crying on the spot. I was like, yo, I can't do this. It felt like I was writing forever, and it was only 2,000 words. So the adjustment to learning learning literally on the fly how to write a book, and like kind of putting aside all of the years of journalism writing, where you kind of like paring it down and getting to the nuts and bolts, whereas in a book you kind of expanding. That was difficult. But I also wrote it during the playoff run of 2016. Yeah,
that's right.
I wrote it while they were going for 73 wins and while they were going through all that. And as you remember, that was a highly dramatic year.
Yes.
So I was basically writing a lot on the team and on these big moments, Steph breaking records, 73 wins, Steph getting hurt in the playoffs, and when he come back, all that stuff. And then after that, at night, I would go write the book. And it was exhausting, and I felt like I was going to die. And it was a pretty miserable experience, to be honest. So that was incredibly hard. And I had to juggle all that with being like a father and a husband. And at one point I had to tell my wife, like, listen, I got 3 months left until deadline. Like, I'm just gonna be absent, and
Yeah.
you got to suck it up. I'm not. I didn't say you got to suck it up. It was more like, yo, can you just give me the space? I know it's bad. I know it's terrible, but I got 3 months, and I was AWOL, and then that was hard on the family. My daughter is like, yo, she can't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm writing, and I gotta be a little, stern, so she know how serious this is. But we had a certain rhythm, and I just broke it all. Like, yeah, it was incredibly hard. It was super difficult, and I didn't think I would finish. So that's why on that book, I don't even care what anybody say. I finished it, I did it, and that was all I needed.
And now it makes a ton of sense. And you shouldn't be ashamed of how much you plugged it. You became kind of infamous for how much you plugged it.
First off, I would have never been ashamed anyway, but absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, what? All that work, all I went through for that, heck yeah, I was about to plug that thing. No question. But even if it was an easy book, I wouldn't have been ashamed of plugging it just because, it's what we do.
Absolutely. There it is, man. That's the one question. And that was a great answer. If anyone has any follow-up questions for MT, drop them in the Vover app, and we'll see if we can get him to answer those. But MT, great answer. Hopefully the question lived up to your expectations. Thanks so much for coming on the debut episode of One and Done, and hopefully we'll bring you back on again soon.
This means I'm like Anthony Davis and them, right? Like a college player did 1 year and we out. Like I'm basically on the same level as them. All right, cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm one and done. Let's do it.
Thanks, MT. Appreciate you.
All right, no problem.